Here we go with the Tri-State Outlet Knicks post-game show as the Knicks get a wire-to-wire win at the Clippers and snap their 7-game losing streak. Another double-double for Mitchell Robinson, 12 points, 11 rebounds, and R.J. Barrett spectacular again with 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. And the Knicks beat the Clippers. Final count tonight, 116-93. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito, Alan Hahn, and Wally Zerbiak. So, Knicks go up by 26 in the third. After 3, the lead is down to 12, and we're like, ooh. But not tonight. Knicks held on. How'd they do it?
Well, a big part was Immanuel Quickley has been phenomenal. And I think when Derrick Rose went out and when Kemba Walker, wasn't playing after the All-Star break, Quickley really needed to step up for this team. And he really struggled a little bit. Now he's starting to play, I think, the way he's capable of playing, whereas he's orchestrating that second unit. I mean, today's game was absolutely phenomenal. He had 10 boards, assists, 21 points, just did everything we expected him to do when the Knicks really needed someone to step up at that point guard position and kind of take over ownership of the second unit. So that's one of the reasons. And the other reason is R.J. Barrett continues to be the man on this team. He sets the tone at the beginning of games. He can get wherever he wants on the floor. And, everyone else is kind of following his lead.
Think about this. That was, I know it's a 7-game losing streak. That was 12 straight games the Knicks had allowed over 110 points. So they finally break that streak, too, which meant a lot to Tom Thibodeau. Their defense has been, they've had good moments defensively, but in this game, you could just see it stayed consistent, and the Clippers really struggled. Reggie Jackson struggled with his shooting. No one really got it going for the Clippers, but I do have to point out, they were plus 11 in the fourth quarter. So chipping away at that deficit
at
that has been
minus 104 in 10 games?
Yeah, so chipping away at that, but plus 11 fourth quarter, because everyone watched this game. They cut it to 12 going into the fourth, and there was that feeling of, oh, no, here we go again. But the bench did a fantastic job to finish it, and Tibbs didn't have to bring anybody back into the game. He let them finish the game.
All right, and a key second quarter for the Knicks as they outscored the Clippers, Wally, 34-18. Barrett with 24 in the game, and 16 came in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was a big quarter, and overall, the Clippers were really struggling to shoot the basketball all game today. And Reggie Jackson is their guy, and when he doesn't play well, they were struggling all over the place to find offense. And the Knicks, I give them a lot of credit. They are doing a great job at getting to the basket, led by R.J. Barrett. They're getting to the free throw line a ton. They got 30 free throws again in this game, only made 19 of them, but R.J. Barrett, the game's coming easy. It really is. I mean, he just puts his head down, overpowers guards at the rim, and, then sprinkles in that 3 when he needs to at times. That's smart. Don't fall in love with the 3, but make this your game. Because when you break down defense like this, boy, do you become hard to guard, and boy, does your teammates love playing with you. Because you get into the paint, you pass it out for shots, you throw lobs to the guys rolling to the basket. I mean, his game has become complete, and it's become a lot more efficient of late.
Mike Breen said it during the broadcast. He's not deferring anymore.
Yeah.
Like he's emerging, and you could see it from the start of games. He's emerging as a centerpiece in this offense, and he doesn't turn the ball over either, which is also very important. 4 assists, but doesn't turn the ball over. It's the 1 turnover.
And the 9 rebounds. Don't forget the rebounds, too.
And, well, he's always been a really good rebounder at the guard position, but I just like that. And we saw it, I guess, in Phoenix, right, where he was at the point of attack, where he was running the offense, getting shots that he wanted. We saw it again in this game. It's a trend you want to see continue. He's 21 years old, and he's emerging as a main piece for this team.
He's taking the ball to the basket. It seemed up until this improved play, he was just settling for the 3-ball, right, Wally? Well, settling for the outside shot. Now he is aggressively, as we've talked about, he gets the ball and just goes.
Well, it all started when Randall was out of the lineup for those couple games right around New Year's. Mm-hmm. He was the guy. He was the man. And he just started putting his head down, going to the rim, and he's like, oh, wow, I can do this. And this can be a big part of my game. And then I think Tom Thibodeau and the coaching staff saw that, and they said, wait a second, we better start implementing this weapon as far as an attack mode in our offense. And they've allowed him to do a lot more with the ball in his hands, especially since Kemba Walker didn't come back after the All-Star break and no Derrick Rose. And now Randall is not becoming the primary ball handler anymore and the primary facilitator. It's becoming R.J. Barrett because his decision-making is so much more consistent. He only had 1 turnover, whereas Randall, when you ask him to be a playmaker, he's going to turn the ball over more.
All right, we always talk about, all right, what are the Knicks going to do for a point guard? What's the future going to be like for a point guard? Could Immanuel Quickley, I mean, tonight he was the answer. 21 points, a career-high 10 rebounds and 6 assists. Might he be the answer? Or is that something that is not likely to happen?
Well, he wants to be the answer.
Right.
I mean, that's
because if he is the answer, that changes the whole dynamic of
yeah,
the future.
he wants to. And he's been very good since the All-Star break. That's the one thing that, you're watching some players, and it's all the younger players have been fantastic coming out of All-Star break. But he, from Summer League, we remember back in Summer League, where Tom Thibodeau gave him the ball and said, I want you, don't focus on your scoring, I want you to be a playmaker. And that's what we saw. And when he made mistakes and stuff, they talked to him about it. And then he came into this season wanting to be that as a guy off the bench. And he struggled. And we thought, well, maybe he's trying too hard to focus on setting other people up, and he's losing his offense, and his shooting is also being affected by it. I don't know, Wally. I don't think he's trying to facilitate. I think he's just looking to attack. And as Tom Thibodeau always says, let the game tell you what play to make. The game will tell you what play to make. It seems like he's just attacking and then reacting that way instead of trying to be that prototypical floor general.
It all starts with when he makes shots, his whole game falls into place.
Too, yeah.
All shooters, I was the same way. If my jump shot wasn't going in, every other part of my game was suffering. I mean, it's tough because that's what he's known for. That's what's going to keep him out on the floor. He needs to be that shooter when he's out there. And once he gets that's something he shouldn't have to worry about. Like when he gets open shots, he should be a high percentage shooter. All the other stuff that you're working on, that will come when the shooting's there. So now that he's getting comfortable, he's earning minutes with his knocking down his shots, he's starting to show what he's worked on in the offseason to be more of a point guard.
And he's getting the opportunity.
Yeah.
No Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose is out.
Take the opportunity.
Right.
I mean, it's right there for him. Everyone wants him to be that guy. The last couple weeks before he's had this little good stretch, he wasn't the guy, and lately he's done it. So let's see if he can do it consistently, because in this league, you can't just do it once or twice in 2 weeks. You got to do it every single night.